The Loudoun County Board of Supervisors is getting a flood of complaints from residents who are fed up about data center noise and generator fumes. 7 News' Nick Minock is joining us live in Sterling, where residents had to smell and listen to data center diesel generators for 24 hours because of a power failure, Nick.
That's right, and the homeowners here in Sterling and Loudoun County told me that the smell from the diesel-powered generators was potent, and they're concerned about their health.
I woke up by sound of it sounds like Air Force plane.
This data center campus in Sterling is known by locals as one of the noisiest data centers in Loudoun County. It's an 18-acre campus with 3 data centers. Neighbors describe a constant hum at all hours of the day. But late last week, homeowners told me things got much louder. The company told me last Thursday there was a power failure at their on-site power plant, forcing them on backup diesel generators into Friday evening. The noise and fumes disturbed neighbors.
I always know when they're running their diesel generators because it irritates my throat and my lungs. And I've even woken up at night.
It's very disturbing. In my opinion, the kids can't sleep because, they have to constantly wake up because they hear noises. And this is not fair for the kids or the neighbor who didn't sign up for this.
Greg told me when he moved in 14 years ago, he didn't sign up to live right next to this data center, which opened last year.
This data center has been a curse on our life here.
The Loudoun County Board of Supervisors were recently warned by Dominion Energy that backup generator use may become more frequent because of the growing demands on the electrical grid.
Leading up to the 4th of July weekend, we were minutes away from turning every data center in Ashburn to their backup generation.
The Loudoun County Board of Supervisors has approved hundreds of data centers. More than 200 are operating in Loudoun County alone, and 100 more are in the pipeline. The historically pro-data center Board of Supervisors points to how data center tax revenue pays for 45% of the county's budget. But Greg isn't sold.
When I look at my property values and how the data center is going to affect those, that negates any benefit whatsoever.
Loudoun County Chair Phyllis Randall has voted for a number of these data centers right next to homes, and I just saw her walk by. She is here meeting with homeowners who are concerned about the smell, the noise, and other issues involving data centers. So she's here listening to their concerns right now. But some of the homeowners told me it's an odd coincidence that during the chair's visit this evening, this is the quietest this data center has ever been. Back to you.
Nick, thank you. And obviously you've been talking with those homeowners. What are they asking Chair Randall to do?
Yeah, so they have signed a petition. This is it right here. It says 173 residents, 156 households signed on to this pledge, and they're asking for a number of things. They first want a mandatory noise monitoring on this data center along with enforcement, and many homeowners are asking for a pause on data center development in the county. Reporting live in Sterling, Nick Minock, 7 News.
All right, Nick, thank you. And one of the projects we've been closely following is called Golden to Mars. Dominion Energy wants to build that 500 kilovolt transmission line in eastern Loudoun County to help power data centers. Now, the route state regulators approved would go through some homeowners' backyards and the property of an elementary and high school. New today, Congressman Suhas Subramaniam telling 7 News he is urging state regulators to consider a different route that would go through federal land.
This would be away from homes, away from schools. And so I'm trying to basically get people to think about whether we can build a power line along the NOAA and other federal agencies' land there. And I believe people have been given a false choice between building this line in schools versus building this line in residential areas.
And Subramaniam says he has spoken with federal agencies, which said they are open to this idea. Tonight, Dominion Energy is hosting a public meeting about their plans to build more than 6 miles of power lines through Prince William County. Last week, county supervisors voted to keep the line off county land, meaning people living in the Braemar neighborhood of Bristow are spared. But there are still plans to run lines in the Nokesville Village and Kettle Run areas. Tonight's meeting is from 5:30 to 7:30 at Patriot High School in Nokesville.
We head to Prince George's County now, where the county planning board heard testimony from the public on a bill to permit data centers in agricultural and residential zones. Several community members and organizations attended that meeting to voice their concerns over the constructions of new data centers in these areas. One community advocate even said the bill contradicts a recent moratorium approved by the county council.
Greatly concerned about the recent proposed data center development in the county. And as your staff member just said, we just recently had a moratorium that was passed, and it appears as though this particular legislation is not going to be consistent with what we as a community need.
Now, earlier this month, the county council approved a 2-year moratorium on new data center development. Our Maryland Bureau Chief Brad Bell has a full breakdown of their decision. You can find his reporting at WJLA.com.